In our final segment, produced by Carrie Chapman, we visit Evansville's chapter of the Ronald McDonald House to learn how they help families of children during medical treatment.
Hi, I'm Ronald McDonald with the EVSC Community Link, and today joining me is Jeremy Evans. Nice to meet you, Jeremy.
Nice to meet you.
From the Evansville Ronald McDonald House. Could you please explain what the Ronald McDonald House exactly does?
Sure. We provide care, comfort, and support for families of children who are in the hospital. So since January 2010, which is when we opened, we've served over 1,000 parents, children, and extended families from around the tri-state each year. We provide them with a guest room, we provide them with food through our community pantry, we provide prepared meals for the families, personal care, and also an environment of caring. So everyone here knows what our families are going through, and we're able to provide them with a level of caring that they can't get anywhere else.
So the parents are staying here instead of at a hotel. Do you know how much roundabout that usually saves them?
Sure. Well, we ask for a $10 donation from our families. We don't turn anyone away for not being able to pay. So families that can't afford their accommodations, that's taken care of for them. And you know, an average hotel room night, you're looking at $90, $100 a night. Some of the families we serve are here for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. And so that adds up very quickly. Our average length of stay is 8 nights. So you know, you're talking $700, $800 that families are not having to pay because they're staying here at the Ronald McDonald House.
So since it is free to stay at if chosen, how do you guys really get your funding?
Well, we receive funding from a number of sources. First and foremost is McDonald's. Our partners in the McDonald's restaurants here in our area have been incredibly generous to us. They provide the revenue from the coin collection canisters on their countertops in their restaurants, but also the co-op of McDonald's owners provides extra donations to the house that really help us operate and help families.
Clearly by the name, if McDonald's was the reason why this was started, was there anyone else who helped found it, or was it just solely McDonald's?
Yeah, so in 1974, the first Ronald McDonald House was opened in Philadelphia. A Philadelphia Eagles football player and Dr. Audrey Evans were instrumental in opening the house, and the local McDonald's there donated money from each Shamrock Shake that was sold to help open the house in 1974. Since then, over 300 houses have been opened around the world, and Evansville is actually one of the smallest communities to have a Ronald McDonald House. So we're very lucky to have this charity available in the tri-state.
Why do you think Evansville was chosen for a Ronald McDonald House?
Well, we have 2 great hospitals here in Evansville, Deaconess and St. Mary's. They both have excellent neonatal intensive care units. And a lot of our families come from the neonatal intensive care unit from babies that are born with issues or with who are born prematurely. And so those families who are going to be here for a long period of time, obviously the Ronald McDonald House is valuable to them. Without the house, they would be looking for some place to stay, staying in a hotel, accruing a lot of expense. And we like to take that burden off their plate while they're taking care of their families. In order to stay at the Ronald McDonald House, families just need to live outside of Evansville, so 25 miles away from the house, and they need to have a child under the age of 18 in the hospital.
Well, we are actually from Crawfordsville, Indiana, so a little bit about an hour west of Indianapolis, and my son is a patient at the pediatric feeding clinic over at St. Mary's. We've been coming to Evansville. This is our 6th visit over the last 2.5 years, and having a place to stay like the Ronald McDonald House is a godsend for us. Coming from out of town, we're about 3.5 hours away, so knowing that we've got a nice, calm, relaxing place to stay, and we can stay through the weekends and have good dinners, a nice place for my son to just be able to play and relax when it's a very stressful time for him, is just an amazing feature that we, have really appreciated. And it's one that we've been able to connect with other families here that we've been able to keep in contact who have had similar challenges, and we've just been able to really form a relationship with them here. So it's been really great. The volunteers are wonderful. They love to see us. We come back about every 6 months, and Emery loves to see them just as much. So it's really great.
How many families can be supported at the Ronald McDonald House at one time?
So we have 10 guest rooms wherein 10 different families can stay. We also have a large community area where extended family members can come and spend the day, relax and unwind. We also have a day guest program. So our restrooms have shower facilities and lockers that day guests can use to come over from the hospital, refresh themselves, take some time away, de-stress, get a meal, and take care of themselves. So overall, 10 families at a time.
If you're ever at maximum capacity with families, is there a waiting list for families?
Yep, absolutely. Our house is first come, first served, and we do sometimes operate at capacity and have a waiting list when families are waiting for other families to check out.
Are there any employees at the house?
Yes, we do have 5 full-time staff members. We also have over 150 volunteers. This house is absolutely run. The heart and soul of this house is through our volunteers. We have volunteer shifts available from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. In 2012, our volunteers performed over 11,000 hours of service to the Ronald McDonald House, so we absolutely could not do it without them. They perform front desk duties, housekeeping duties, and then we also have floater volunteers who just take care of whatever comes up and whatever needs to be taken care of.
Well, we like to call this our home away from home, and we try to make it as comfortable as we can for the people who come as our guests. We have 10 guest rooms. Some of those have 2 queen beds and some have 1 queen bed. And our front desk, our housekeeping, our maintenance, and our floaters are all volunteer staff persons. We always need more volunteers, especially on weekends. We do whatever needs to be done to keep the guests comfortable while they're here.
So, Mr. Evans, I understand you're new to this job. So what made you really want to get in cooperation with the Ronald McDonald House?
Sure, well, it's a fantastic charity, obviously. What really drove me to explore the position and apply is that my family, I actually have a personal connection with the Ronald McDonald House. When my daughter was born, she had a birth defect that had to be addressed at Riley Hospital in Indianapolis. And we stayed for 2 weeks at the Ronald McDonald House in Indianapolis and received wonderful care from the people at the house in Indianapolis. Made it a total no-brainer to apply for the job, and I'm just very pleased to have gotten it.
If someone in the community wanted to get involved and contribute, what could they do?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that people can contribute. Obviously, volunteering is important. We have a pop tabs program like we talked about. People can collect the pop tabs off their soda cans and bring them into us and donate that way. Obviously, donations are important. We run on the donations that we receive every day.
Obviously, meals are a big part of the stay for the family. Is there any businesses that help you with that?
Absolutely. So I told you about our meal program where groups can come in and provide meals for the families while they're staying. Almost every night we have a different group come in to provide dinner for the families. It's one less thing that our families have to worry about while they're here. They can get a home-cooked meal and not have to worry about preparing it. One of our best partners in that is the Acropolis restaurant. Once a month they provide a meal from their restaurant for our families, and it's really a generous give back for that restaurant to make a contribution to our community through our meal program. You can always call us here at the house. Our number is 812-402-7642, or you can check us out on our website, which is rmhevansville.org.
Reporting from the Ronald McDonald House in Evansville, Indiana, with the EVSC Community Link, I'm Riley Miller.